Hi, I'm Mahmoud. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm a musician and producer from Switzerland, and recently I did this video where I explained something that I call a forever exercise, which is something that I tend to do every time I pick up a guitar. That specific video was about subdivisions and how I like to practice them. I hope if you've seen that video that it helped you and that you're practicing. That being said, I want to check up on something that I think you should also be practicing. Let's jump right into it. The one thing that I think is incredibly unique to guitar as an instrument is vibrato. Hand in hand with that goes, in my opinion, bending. I've noticed that a lot of guitarists that come through my studio have not practiced vibrato or bending enough. Neither is easy. It's a difficult technique to get down. It's something that you practice until the end of time, basically. Like I mentioned the last time, it's a forever thing. And it's my one biggest focus when I'm playing guitar, aside from the rhythm aspect. Why should you be practicing that? The simple answer is bad vibrato sounds so bad as opposed to just letting the note ring out. However, good vibrato sounds incredible. An in-tune bend, incredible. A bend with a vibrato? Oh yeah, now we're cooking. So, how should you go about practicing these things? There's a few things that you can start doing. Let's jump straight into the exercise and how I like to practice it. It's not an exercise that you can loop, it's just something that you do over and over again, but not timed, which is why I'm not saying looped. With the other exercise, you can just loop it, that's fine. But here, your ear needs to be much more involved. It's not just about a mechanical movement. So, how do we do this? Let's start with bending, because vibrato is essentially just bending and doing it fast over and over. So let's start with that. How do you practice bending? You choose a spot. Let's do this note here. And then if I want to bend up, let's say I want to bend a full note from here to here. I remember this note, then I go back down, and then I go up. That was sharp, so over. That sounds better. And you keep doing that until it becomes sort of muscle memory. And you do that in different positions on different strings. So if you feel comfortable doing it here, try doing it here. Or feels way different on different strings in different positions. So definitely make sure you practice that. And also smaller bends. Instead of just going, you can do. So that's the first step. Now, how about vibrato? The thing with vibrato that most guitarists tend to get wrong and have to point it out is they don't come back to the original note when they do the vibrato. Meaning, let's say you have this note and you want to give it a good shake. You want to give it a good shake. You got this note and then you start doing the vibrato. And instead of going back to the original note at the end of that, they tend to be sharp and something like that. Which has to do with tension in the hands and the fingers. And it's, in my opinion, I think it's due to bad technique. And the technique that I learned from watching videos of Paul Gilbert is using this part of the hand as a fulcrum point. You anchor it, and then you basically do this movement. So if you do that, of course, this is way exaggerated, but this movement here is both for bending as well as vibrato. One thing that I forgot to mention about the bending is practice it with different fingers, but ideally use more than one finger. So using just one finger for bends is really, like, I only do that if I have no other choice. However, if possible, at all times, I use more than one finger, ideally 3. Usually it's point, middle, and ring. Let's go back to vibrato. The mistake I mentioned is not going back to the original note. So if you end up somewhere, instead of being like on this note or hovering close to there, here, that just ends up sounding horrible, especially when there's music surrounding that. Like if you have a chord that plays around that note and you're off by like a quarter and you're constantly that sharp, that's bad. You need to fix that. So my solution for that is practicing it like bending. Like that. And then going back to the original note, and then slowly, once you've developed some strength for that specific movement, as well as the muscle memory and ear, once you've developed that, speed it up. And then you got, basically, I think there's 2 or 3 different kinds of vibrato, really. You have the half bend, which tends to be like a bit subtle, or more subtle. And then you have the full step vibrato. And then you have the thing that Zakk Wylde really nails, which is like a third. That is tough. Wow. That tends to sound super aggressive and works in metal, obviously. Just be aware there's these different kinds, and then there's speed variations. So make sure you practice all of these things, but also always make sure you practice it in a musical context. Practice those. Try practicing that with a backing track, maybe a chord progression that you like, something like that. Don't isolate it. Try and do it with more music surrounding it. And apply it to licks. Maybe something like the OG dad boomer lick. Getting that super in tune is a great, great, great first step exercise. Doing that slowly is painful, especially if you're out of tune. And then try adding vibrato to it, like that. You can slowly exaggerate the vibrato as well. You can start by adding no vibrato and then slowly adding more and more and more with maybe more aggressive picking. Stuff like that. This is all super important to guitars. So, in my opinion, this is another forever exercise. This is nothing that you're going to learn one day and then never practice again. You're going to keep practicing that forever. I know I am. So, I hope this helps you. I hope the next time you're in the studio, this is less painful for you. And get you practicing. Do you have any other forever exercises that you do? Please let me know down below in the comments. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Take care.